in the flow of human life, towards the divine life, there are many obstacles that arise, difficulties that come in life. Human beings are complex. And have different sides. You have the side of you that is bright, beautiful, aspires to the divine, and shines in the talents that you have and express in this world. But each of you also has aspects that are difficult, feelings and experiences that you'd rather not acknowledge. Jealousies, anger, depressive, sad feelings, anxieties and worries, fears, actions that you are not proud of, parts of yourself that fall into the shadow and that are even hard for you to acknowledge exist. Parts that are wounded, in pain, grieving, hurting, that need to be nurtured, need to be cared for, need to be loved. Human beings are complex. We are all a mixture of these shadows and of light. As the world around us is also a mixture of shadow and light. There is the great accomplishments of human beings, the immense humanitarian thoughts and actions, the selfless actions of so many people to build a whole society which nurtures and cares for all those in the society. And yet, there are wars, there are indescribable cruelties that people do towards each other and towards other living beings. Even in the world of other beings than humans, you see the joy of the mother deer with her fawn, the wildcat with the kitten, the joy of running. But to eat, you see the hunter killing the hunted. You see great cataclysms of the earth, earthquakes, fires, and floods, destructions. And you see life blooming, blossoming, coming to life. Whole planets are born, exist, and then they are destroyed. Life is a complexity of shadow and light, creation and destruction. In this created universe, this is the nature of what is. Even your bodies are born, grow, thrive, but then they suffer. Old age comes, and death comes to all bodies. In this world and in our personalities, in our lives, this play of shadow and light is ever forming and moving. There is no part of human life that does not have struggle. You have a few moments here and there where the struggle eases and you can feel some peace. But then again something happens and you must struggle to maintain your equilibrium, to bring your light forward, to be what you want to be, to connect with the divine. So in the process of spiritual life, there is both the experience of light, joy, bliss, and divine connection, and the experience of the unveiling of shadows, coming to the surface, making themselves known, so that you can understand the shadowy parts of yourself. You can work with those shadowy parts. You can come to grips with the totality of your being. And as you begin to come to grips with the totality of your being, both your strengths and light, and your shadows and weaknesses, your hope, your joy, and your fear and your anger. As you bring all of these to the surface through your meditative experience, you begin to look at the shadows, and the light begins to shine in the shadows. And you see your human frailty. Part of what it means to be a human being is to have human frailties. When you embody in a human body, you accept those limitations, those conditions, the human condition. And as you shine light in the shadows of your own being, you must come to terms with all of yourself. And as you do that, you learn love, you learn acceptance. When you can love the shadowy parts of yourself, when you can accept your own human frailties, your struggles, your difficulties, your sorrows, your fears, when you can begin to love the different parts of yourself, love the shadows, then you become able to grow in love. Where you can have true compassion and love for all living beings. when you can accept your own anger, accept your own fear, accept your own disappointments and shadows, then you can accept it in others. When you can love all parts of yourself, your love grows in magnitude. And then you can love with compassion and kindness all living beings, not only in their happy, joyful parts, but for the totality of who they are. When you can accept your own pain, the pain, pleasure, happiness, and sorrow begin to even out, to make a totality of life, an acceptance of the creative process, which has both the joy of coming into being and the disintegration of life and the dissolution. As the seasons of the year arise, spring with new life blooming everywhere, summer with the full expression of life and vitality, and the fall where the trees shed their leaves and life becomes withdrawn and dormant, and the winter when life lives under the snow, dormant, withdrawn, again to arise in the spring. So it is that all life is in a process of being born, shining, and dissolving. These processes are going on within you at all times. Love the cycle of life. Love yourself in all the cycles of your life. Love yourself hiding in the shadows. Love yourself basking in the sun. Love yourself growing and unfolding into your truth and your capacities. And love yourself withdrawing and dissolving your brightness. All aspects are a part of one integrated life process. Be attuned to Prakriti, to Mother Nature, to how divinity manifests in this universe, and in you as the child of the divine, formed by Mother Nature into your own being. Let yourself love fully, wholly, completely. And when love expands to include the whole of creation in all its multiple aspects, there is a surrendering of beliefs, ideas, concepts, a surrendering of all that you have understood and known, surrendering to the totality of life and the infinite source, the living, vibrant intelligence in which all of this unfolds and unto which it all dissolves. Your life source, the breath of your breath, the life of your life, your soul, your Atman. Let go into that divinity in complete and total acceptance, surrender. All right. So when you go to your homes, remember this. Let go. Surrender. As you lay in the bed, going to bed, remember your divine source and let go. Surrender into it. And when you wake in the morning, remember your divine source and surrender your day. And throughout the day, remember you are surrounded by the divine in all the forms of this world, in both the good and happy experiences and in the painful, difficult experiences and feelings. That one is always with you. Divine, intelligent consciousness, a love unconditional. It is your very own nature. All right?